I had an experience not so very long ago at the Panera in Bakery Square. I was standing at the soda station, my recyclable plastic cup in hand, ready to make my favorite springtime beverage, a mixture I refer to as the nectar of the gods, iced tea and lemonade, but it's not important. Ahead of me in the queue was a woman with a bright fluorescent yellow vest. She was a crossing guard. She had the warning signs on her back. They were all there. As I approached, we now stood side by side. "Good morning," I said, and she, moving just to her left to allow me to stand there and fill my cup, replies, "Good morning, how are you?" I reply simply, "Fine, and you?" And she then says, "I'm blessed, and I know you are too." Wow. Theology 101 at Panera. To be aware of our blessings and to give that voice. Or in the words of our patriarch Jacob, after dreaming a dream in which angels ascend and descend between earth and heaven, God is surely in this place, and I didn't realize it. This happens all the time to us, does it not? Amidst all of the uncertainty and anxiety we are experiencing at this very moment in our lives, plus all of life's unavoidable adversity, daily betrayals, and the challenges we face because of who we are, it can become all too easy for us to lose our bearings, to forget our faith, and to fail to articulate our gratitude and our purpose in every day of our lives. And once we lose our faith and our confidence, once we lose trust in a power that is greater than ourselves, once we walk away from a faith in a purpose greater than ourselves, we are far from being able to articulate our blessings and to be assured of them. In an opinion piece that ran just this past week in the Wall Street Journal, New York University professor Susie Welch says of our present experience and the sense of dislocation and dis-ease, this loss of confidence in the future that so many of us may be experiencing, such that we ourselves have, if only temporarily, lost sight of our purpose and strayed from our faith in the power within and the future beyond. Says Susie Welch, a new era is upon us, and we must make time for mourning the death of our former world, a world we were barely hanging onto by our fingernails anyway. Today, our world is defined by a miasma of loss, of bygone patterns and expectations, of political and personal estrangements, economic inequality, racial unrest, a general society-wide disquiet. Everything somehow seems so unsure. And so it is that the author, drawing on her own experience as a widow, connects what we are experiencing today, namely what she refers to as the time between now and someday. Says she, it's no surprise that we may be experiencing this as a yawning chasm of chaos and uncertainty. In Susie Welch's words, I was reminded of those of Christian theologian and author C.S. Lewis, who in his brief monograph, A Grief Observed, which he penned in the first year following his beloved wife's death, said, C.S. Lewis, "I never realized that grief would feel so very much like fear." And C.S. Lewis was speaking of the first year. Says Susie Welch in her piece in the Journal, you think the first year of struggling, of hurting, of grieving your loss, you think the first year is bad. Wait, it's not until the second year when you begin to realize just how long forever truly is. Enter the 23rd Psalm. Long beloved and much lamented, the 23rd Psalm is one of the Psalters, one of the Bible's most fulsome expressions of faithfulness, of remaining hopeful and prayerful and grateful full of faith and confidence that come what may, with faith in a power within us and faith and trust in a purpose greater than us, we are indeed each of us part of, in spite of ourselves, perhaps precisely because of our experience, the 23rd Psalm asserts that we are, each and every one of us, part of a purpose within the universe, and we need not want, which I believe our traditions, plural, teach is for us to live in the fullness of faith such that we can say, life has purpose, and we live in pursuit of meriting those blessings, such that we might say, I am blessed, and I know you are too. Now, what frustrates this pursuit? What vexes us such that we often lose sight of our blessings, such that we are at risk of losing a sense of our purpose and squandering our very lives? Nothing less than what I have been referring to lately as the ABCs of life's obstacles, or what the 23rd Psalm refers to as walking through the valley of shadows, what with its rough waters, its evil and enemies and fear. What are these ABCs that cast such a long shadow across our path? What are these ABCs of the obstacles of life? A is for adversity, which I'm defining as those inevitable and oft unpredictable and ultimately unavoidable vicissitudes of life. The ups and downs, the setbacks and obstacles we all encounter in a lifetime, adversities like ill health and our mortality, our circumstance, indeed our very existence, all of which is, alas, both before and beyond us. There is no avoiding adversity. It's not a bug in the system, but rather adversity is a feature of life's design. In short, adversity happens. B is a bug. B is for betrayal. We might imagine those who have done us wrong or who lied to us, leading us to believe something and then delivering to us something very different in real time. And yes, I have in mind peddlers of misinformation in the media, as well as authorities once recognized for their integrity, who are now revealed to be dissemblers. B is for betrayal. I have in mind also, of course, false friends, for these types of betrayals are personal and especially painful. And I am thinking both of those who betray us with their words, as well as those who practice betrayal with silence. For as our traditions and our own experiences teach us, in the presence of injustice or in the face of suffering, to be silent or to turn away from those who are in need, Jewish tradition teaches this too is a betrayal. And C is for the challenges of our own design. These are the challenges within us, our pride, our ego, our sense of entitlement, the expectations we have of what we ought be enjoying in life. Consider, two friends meet on the corner of Forbes and Murray, the center of the Jewish universe as far as we can tell, outside of Jerusalem. They meet specifically on the northeast corner of that intersection, just below the awning of the library. It's been some time since they have seen one another, and as they approach each other, the one notices that his friend seems to be dejected and perhaps on the verge of crying. Says he to his friend, "What's wrong? What's happened to you? Has the world been unkind? Have friends wronged you in some way? Tell me." "No, nothing like that," his friend replies. "I'm actually in good health and I have good friends." "So what's with the sad face?" "I'll tell you. 3 weeks ago, my great uncle, whom I had never met, passed away, and he left me $50,000. "Well, that's a tidy sum," his friend replied. "I suppose so, but then 2 weeks ago, my second cousin, much older than I, we had met only once, he passed away, and he left me $100,000. "Well, I'm certainly sorry for your loss," his friend said, But it sounds like you've been blessed. I guess so, his friend continued, but then last week I won the lottery and collected $200,000 free and clear. That's amazing, his friend replied, so why so glum? Well, this week, nothing. While feeling grateful for fortune is easy, and it is easy to feel grateful when we have survived, a pandemic or a trauma or a major health scare, or even the slings and arrows of those whom the psalmist refers to as those who trouble me. While feeling grateful at these times, perhaps to still be standing. Well, that's easy. When life is comfortable and life is easy, while we may oftentimes forget to articulate gratitude for our blessings, that's easy. But when life turns challenging and cruel, can we recall in these moments also that even as our souls are tried, our faith is true, which is for us to ask and for the psalmist to reassure. When life finds us in green pastures and also when the skies grow gray, can we in both of these circumstances remain calm and true and faithfully aware of our blessings, such that we are able to assert and to affirm with the crossing guard that we are blessed and with the psalmist that in spite of all, with faith in self and heart, we can in fact affirm that life has purpose and we have a place within the plan. We are not alone and God is with us. In spite of perhaps the empty place beside us, we recognize that the table before us has been prepared for us. And even in the face of painfulness and loss, can we still affirm that our cup runneth over? Can we, in spite of life's inevitable adversities, and full in the face of false friends and their betrayals, and even given our own inherent all-too-human challenges of our own design, can we accept the 23rd Psalm's invitation and hold fast to a faith that affirms, in spite of, perhaps because of, the obstacles we face, we are blessed, and we remain devoted to living a life of purpose in fulfillment of the 23rd Psalm's promise that there will come a day when we will live untroubled and dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Or in the words of one of my all-time favorite poems, If, by Rudyard Kipling, wherein he is giving advice to his own offspring, much as the psalmist shared his wisdom with future generations and each of us to this day. Kipling's is a beautiful distillation, I think, of the 23rd Psalm's message of remaining faithful and focused on purpose. And all we have been discussing this morning, that in the face of the ABCs of life's obstacles, we hold fast to our faithful duty to remain aware of and grateful for our blessings, and are able to be devoted to a life of purpose, lived in the full awareness of our own responsibility to recognize that this is the one life we are given to live, and we must do so with purpose and faith and passion. Rudyard Kipling, If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. On this day, in spite of life's adversities, betrayals, and inherent challenges, I affirm I am blessed, and I know you are too. Good morning.